everyone's different. Your level of comfortability in terms of what's comfortable for you may be different than what mine is. For me, it works best to kind of have everything kind of work, kind of work this way. So, um, color wise, you see here, my hi hats are always on the outside, and my hi hats are usually always orange. My kicks are always some form of red or pink. My snares are always some kind of blue or purple. Same up here. Hi hats are orange. These are just different auxiliary sounds and whatnot. The reason for that is that I find that when I'm playing a kit, um, it's much easier for me. Like, so if I'm playing a pattern, um, and I decided I want that hi hat to do something different, having this hi hat over here is much easier than having it on the right side. My right hand, I'm right-handed, so my right hand is already doing, a lot of work. You'll find that in mostly everything that I'm doing, my left hand is basically accompanying my right hand. Um, so with my right hand doing most of the work.
So you normally play like the whole break, like a simple break like that with just one hand. You wouldn't have like your kick on your left hand.
No,
Like,
not
usually
normal.
left hand is like
Not
your
normally.
embellishment.
There'll be a kick that I'll use on my left hand sometimes, but it'll be just to kind of like,
Yeah, like a ghost kick.
yeah, like a ghost kick or whatever. So if I'm playing this pattern and I decide to do it, that's what that's for. And the same thing with the hi hat. So if I go from a straight 8 to a 16, I'm doing. So the left hand ends up being basically the ghost note hand. Like it's to accompany everything I'm doing with my right hand. And it changes a little bit depending. Like with the James thing, it becomes a little bit different because it's not just me doing drums. It's me, bringing in random vocals and whatever other sound effects might be in the sampler or whatever sounds I decided to include in that particular kit. Um, but for the most part, that's to me was always comfortable because you know the hi hat is usually always sort of your metronome. That's usually setting normally is setting your tempo. So for me, I find that having that be on the same hand of my kick and my snare means that this is always for the most part going to be that pattern. This is always going to fall in line with what this finger is doing, and so is the snare. It of course gets a little bit more complicated than that depending on the patterns that you play. But the more complex I get, I'm able to have my left hand to help out. When those things get a little bit more complicated. So same thing in addictive drums. My setup is still the same. I got hi hats over here. My kicks are here. My snares are here. I usually always have the stronger snare, whether it's the rim shot over here, and always my ghost snares over here, because of the fact that sometimes I'll use my right hand to help me with the ghost snares. So if I'm playing a kit and I can add a ghost snare here, but sometimes I want to do a roll. So the right hand ends up kind of helping the left sometimes too. But
So you play? Do you use your index finger for both the kick and the snare?
yes,
All right.
yes. And it could just be a muscle thing. I don't know if it was something that I like that I planned that way, but I think because of the fact that I always tend to hit, whatever button I'm hitting with this finger is always kind of the same velocity. Like that's my most powerful finger is my pointing finger. So you want that for me. I want that to be my kick and my snare. I could do it with my middle finger, but my middle finger is kind of in limbo if I'm playing this with my hi hat. So if I try to do that with like my middle finger, it would kind of cause more problems. Just because of it being right next to my hi hat finger. If that makes any sense. But again, it's all about comfortability. Maybe that using the middle finger works for you. But for me, the pointer finger is more comfortable, and it also, and again, going back to working with bigger pads and moving down to smaller pads, that to me, the way that it's spread out is more comfortable for me. Naturally, if I put my hands on it, my fingers are kind of already where they need to be. Like these are already where my hi hats are. This is already where my kick is. My snare is there. Everything is kind of already there. To force it would make things more uncomfortable. So, so I apply that to to pretty much every kit that I use in that particular pattern. Most importantly, just things being comfortable. It needs to feel comfortable,
Yeah.
so that it feels organic. Now, obviously, in comparison to a real drum kit, again, because of the fact that my kicks are being operated with my fingers and not my feet. The hi hat is the same thing. The hi hat is normally something that you play with your right hand or if you're left-handed. But then there's the open guy as well, which normally is just a matter of opening your left foot. Now I've got to account with my fingers. So I found that what I end up doing a lot, even when I create the kit myself, the first thing that I'll do is I'll create a set of hi hats, and I always put that hi hat and create a group to where that open hi hat responds to the closed hi hat the way that it does on a real drum kit. So that no matter what I'm doing, so that it still feels organic. That's what's important to me more than anything, is that it still feels organic.